Hey folks, it's Jang here from UltimateRC.com and RCmania.com, the place for toy grade RC reviews. This is my review of the entire Medal of Honor RC series. These are officially licensed products, and you have available to you the truck, the ATV, and then everybody's favorite, of course, the tank, also available in an alternate version, which is actually an armored infantry carrier. And then last but not least, they have a RC helicopter available, which looks like an AH-64 Apache attack helicopter. Each of these is available separately. They are all infrared remote controlled, and each of the land-based vehicles also comes with one of these automated gun emplacements, which acts sort of like a manned bunker, which is always shooting at you and you can shoot back at them. And my original plan was to test each of these separately, and I went through the process of getting studio footage for each one, a total of almost an hour of video footage, but the testing phase showed that it just wasn't worth it. Allow me to summarize. First of all, the helicopter. No gyroscopic stabilization, so it's always tending to spin out on you. Very difficult to control. Also, it had another problem with interference with the other vehicles. That was not intentional. That was with just flying the helicopter itself around. Once again, there, the ATV just went on its own, just from trying to control the helicopter. There goes the truck. I was operating the camera and a friend of mine was flying the helicopter. So it wasn't our fault. We switched back and forth on the piloting duties, and with about a decade of off and on RC helicopter experience between us, neither of us was able to get the hang of really controlling this thing well. You're supposed to be able to have battles between the helicopter and the different vehicles using infrared controls, but we almost had to land on the vehicles to shoot them. Didn't work out well at all. Now, the light truck showed a little bit of promise early on, being a little bit fast and nimble to get around, and that allowed it to sneak up, get in a shot, and then get away. And the problem was, even though this is an off-road truck, any sort of little surface imperfection would get it all stuck. It really needs to be driven only on a fairly smooth and clean surface. As far as carpeting goes, you better put it on high-traffic, low-pile carpeting only. The ATV is very similar in the sense that it needs to be on fairly smooth surfaces only, but this one had the distinction of having the best steering of all of them. It also had pretty good speed, and altogether it was really good for getting around corners fast, although this particular unit that we got had a fault in that it would not go backwards. Forward was fine, backwards, no. Now, when the ATV takes the final hit that destroys it or takes it out of the game, the guy who's actually driving it gets ejected from the seat. And that's super cool and makes it really obvious when this vehicle has been taken out. However, that same thing is supposed to work for the tank, and it didn't. It was also supposed to work for the truck, and it didn't there either. The tank seemed pretty awesome until we tried to turn with it. Again, it's another vehicle that wanted a smooth surface, and in this case it wanted one with very little traction. The small motors inside just don't have enough torque to cause the rubber high traction treads to skip around like they need to in order for a tank to spin. The tank had a saving grace though, and that was the fact that it has a remotely operated turret. So even though you can't turn very easily, the gun can. And when it comes to gameplay balance, tank beats everything. It takes out the pillboxes, it takes out the truck, and it also takes out the ATV with the greatest of ease. Only the helicopter stood any chance. All the rest would always lose. All told, these RC Medal of Honor vehicles are cool in concept, but in the real world, all of them had bad flaws, and I just don't think they're worth the cost. Well, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in for more RC reviews at RCmania.com.